breaker, break up. What is going on this evening? Waiting for everyone to show up. Roger, roger.
Hey, Floyd.
It's a little muffly, kind of muffly sounding. I assume you're running in Kenwood. It's strange. Sometimes you key up like that. Just the last key up, it sounds weird, then it sounds all right. I don't know. It's strange. It's time to warm up. I'm supposed to keep the weight to that A&L bunch, so it should sound okay. Yeah, I mean, I can understand what you're saying, yeah. It sounds funny loud, that's for sure. Okay. Hello. It's probably pretty loud on your end, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, you sound good. How about that, Mr. Paranoid? Mr. Paranoid, you out there?
Who there? Who there?
Check. He's working.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Who's that, Steel Toe?
Roger, roger.
10-4 Steel Toe. You got Mud Runner over here. No power, just the iCom.
I'd rather shoot you in the den, brother. Sounds good.
Perfect, thank you. Working on another rig here. I gotta get it wired up to put my trailer. It's a Texas Ranger.
Okay, them are hard to beat. Good rig.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I gotta get some shit on the end of this so I can hook it up. I might try a little later. They don't have sideband, but we'll go on in with it. Test her out in a few minutes.
Roger, yeah, I was going to fire up my A2 tonight, but I said I didn't feel like dealing with it. I'll back with it. What do you want for 142? I'm on the striker. Yep. Try for 142 with Cuban, so on the RS channel. Yeah, it's a little false frequency. That's about 4 hertz bulb up. It's really not that far off. If you're talking to a bunch of people that are dead on, well, yeah, well, this one should be dead on anyway.
$26,895.
Shot O.
Yep, with a couple more O's.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just because your frequency readout reads the right frequency does not mean your radio is.
How's that? Any better?
It was fine before.
Yeah, you sound the same. Sounds good.
42. I gotta figure out my, on this ICOM. I leave it on that. I'd like to clear up my receive, but I don't know what friggin' knob it is.
An RIT.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That didn't work. Maybe this will work.
Well, I sat down one night a few years ago with Bob, and I had this friggin' thing. I have not really touched it other than changing the channel, so I really don't want to mess with it.
Right.
Yeah, your RIT will play with your clarifier.
What was that, Bob?
The RIT will adjust your clarifier for your receive.
Oh yeah, bottom right corner.
Yeah, I don't remember where it is on it, but yeah, somewhere over there.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Well, what's going on, everybody?
Holy but Jesus is a radio man.
Yep, I'm still here.
Any black flies?
Not yet. Hey, Floyd, how are you?
Quiet tonight.
All right, well, let's, you guys ready if we get this Maine Sidebanders started here, or what?
Can I be driver?
I heard like 2 people at once. Go ahead, Portland Greg.
Always wanted to be first.
All right, we'll get you in first here. All right, welcome to Maine Sidebanders, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight?
I'm enjoying the nice weather.
Yes, I would agree. I was sitting outside myself. It is very nice out. All right, well, we got a special request. We have a check-in from Portland. Any stations in Portland? Portland only.
Yeah, you got Jim here.
Oh, Jesus. Greg, you blew it. Jim beat you to first check-in.
Oh, I thought you already got me. Oh.
We'll put you on the list there. All right, we got Greg and Jim. Anyone else in Portland before we move on? All right, how about York County? How about York or York County? York County. All right, not hearing anybody. How about we'll just do state of New Hampshire real quick. State of New Hampshire for Maine Sidebanders. All right, try that one more time. I just pointed my beam down to the south. Try that one more time. State of New Hampshire. Okay, Starduster and Palmyra. I got you. I was trying to call New Hampshire, but we'll grab their Starduster. We got you. Do you copy radio, man? All right, Starduster, stand by. Don't go to bed yet. Stand by for just a minute, okay, Starduster? All right, let me try one more time. State of New Hampshire. State of New Hampshire for Maine Sidebanders. All right, nothing heard. State of New Hampshire. How about Oxford County? Oxford County for Maine Sidebanders. How about Oxford County?
Eeyore in Oxford.
All right, fix it. We got a good copy on you there. Fix it. Anyone else? Anyone else for Oxford County, Maine Sidebanders? All right. Hey, Starduster, you hearing me any better now there, Starduster? Okay, yeah, I switched over to the beam over your way. Switched over. All right. I guess while we're at it, let's try Franklin County. How about Franklin County for Maine Sidebanders? All right, nothing heard. Franklin County. Let's do Somerset County. How about Somerset County? Hey Moose, how you doing in Fairfield? We got a good copy on you. How you doing this evening? All right, another call for Somerset County. Somerset County. All right, nothing heard. How about Kennebec County? Kennebec County for Maine Sidebanders. Okay, Sparkplug, South Gardner. We got you. Anyone else? Kennebec County. Kennebec County for Maine Sidebanders. All right. Nothing else. How about Waldo or Knox County? Waldo or Knox County? Anyone in Waldo or Knox County? All right, copy that. How about Saginaw County? Who we got in Saginaw County for Maine Sidebanders?
You'll go, boat name with it.
Okay, Steel Toe, we got a good copy over there in Bodenham. Anyone else for Saginaw County? All right, not hearing anyone else. We're going to move on to Androscoggin County. How about Androscoggin County for Maine Sidebanders? All right, one more call for Androscoggin County. Androscoggin County.
207 over here in Minot.
All right, 207 in Minot. We got a copy on you over here in New Gloucester. Good evening. Anyone else for Androscoggin County? Androscoggin County for Maine Sidebanders.
Wingnut in Auburn.
Hey, Wingnut, how are you? Over there in Auburn. Also got a good copy on you this evening. Anyone else for Androscoggin County for Maine Sidebanders? All right, nothing heard. Let's see. We got a station in New Hampshire here is listening to us online. He says he's not set up yet. And single cam in New Hampshire. And Pipeline says he'll be out in about an hour. And Floyd, looks like Floyd's also checking in online. So anyways. All right, where were we? I guess one last call for Androscoggin County. All right, let's move on. Cumberland County, last one here. Cumberland County, who we got?
4107, check it in.
Okay, we got you there. High pressure, 4107, Cape Elizabeth. Anyone else for Cumberland County?
Oh, screwdriver from way over here.
And we got a copy on Screwdriver way over there. Very good. All right. Anyone else for Cumberland County for Maine Sidebanders?
323, Raymond.
323 in Raymond. All right. How's it going tonight there, 323?
Pretty noisy on this end. Got a lot of static. I'm hearing people in there, but not real clear.
Man, we're gonna have to figure out what your noise problem is over there. It's not bad over here. Not bad. Noise floor is pretty quiet. Anyone else for Cumberland County for Maine Sidebanders?
Mudrunner, Brunswick.
Oh, Mudrunner. Haven't heard you in a while, in Brunswick. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Working on wiring up a Texas Ranger here to put in my bird trailer. Come on.
Copy that on the bird trailer. Yeah? Well, I'll ask you real quick. How's that dog of yours doing?
She's doing good. We got a first training clinic on Saturday. And then we're going to be a gopher for a Ames and Rule clinic. For an NA Ames and Rules clinic the following Saturday, so it's she's gonna be the I don't know what you don't want to do.
Copy that. For anyone that's listening, Mudrunner has a German short-hair pointer dog, and I have one as well, so I occasionally see him posting pictures of his dog online. So they're probably, I think his dog might be a year younger. Yeah, probably a year younger than mine. So anyways, very good, Mudrunner. All right, another call for Cumberland County. All right. Let's just do anyone that missed roll call in their county. Anyone out there? Got any stragglers for Maine Sidebanders? Any stragglers?
Eagle Bravo 505 Maine, just feeling way under the weather for last week.
Copy that on the Tango Bravo 5505 with the bad shellfish over in Canton. Hope you're feeling better.
Appreciate it.
All right, any other stragglers? Maine Sidebanders. Any stragglers? Maine Sidebanders.
Swiper in Auburn.
Okay, Swiper in Auburn. Checking in from the golf cart. We got any other stragglers? Any stragglers? Maine Sidebanders? Anyone? Anywhere? All right, well, I think at this point, including myself, that's 16 for roll call. And we'll probably have a few more stragglers. 7 was out there earlier. He was flapping his gums, and then 8 o'clock rolled around, and he must have got tired. So, I don't know. 7, where are you, 7? Oh, you see, he tuckered himself out too early. Well, anyways, just kind of curious. I've been following what, if people want to talk about it tonight, I've been following some of the different Facebook groups, and with the lull in DX activity, people have been losing their minds that there hasn't been a lot of skip or good quality skip. And it had me wondering, you know, how many people are going to sell out when the solar cycle diminishes. I myself will know that that'll be the time to buy, is when everyone freaks out and sells their stuff, that's going to be the time to buy more radios. So that'll be my comments on that. I am in it for the long haul. They will be carrying me out of my radio room feet first.
How about a radio, man? How about a signal report? Look at that meter. Tell me what I'm doing. Audio.
You're getting into the mic there, Fix It. I had you at an S5 on the Striker. S5.
Sound right on frequency, does it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it. Screwdriver, hold on to your tits on this one. You sound like you're on FM.
Oh, bother. Yeah, it's the Yazu. You're on FM. I love it. That sounded good.
Yeah, no, you do sound good, Fix It. I'm being serious. You sound, you really, it sounds just like how you would normally sound on any other mode. So if the Yasu is spot on, and I'm hearing you very good over here, Fix It.
Loud and clear in Auburn. Roger. 500 it says on the meter.
My meter says time for cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers? Hell yeah.
But yeah, just kind of curious what, you know, I hear Mudrunner, he's putting a radio in the bird trailer. You know, that's something I would do. But, you know, I'm in it for the long haul, but I got to wonder, there's going to be some people that are going to be selling all their stuff here.
I'll tell you what gets me, though, where, I mean, obviously, it's just, it's guessing. It's kind of like the weather, but, you know, we're in the middle of the cycle. You know, we are starting to start downhill, and this summer should have been the peak. So it's kind of weird to have these lulls in there right now. You know, that's something I would have thought was happening in another year, not this early in the season, I guess.
The perfect double.
Yeah, there was someone under Screwdriver. I only heard Screwdriver, so whoever that other station is, go ahead again so I can hear what you said.
I think it was Mudrunner.
Well, go ahead, Mudrunner.
I was thinking about putting a 6900 Texas Ranger in there. got a 102-inch whip. I'm gonna throw on the top of some, oh, I forget the name of that shit that I put up there, but, yeah, I'm gonna test it out later on the AM and, see how she goes.
And I'll test it out on sideband.
I think she does have sideband, so I might do that. I just got it wired up and hooked up to my shit here, so we'll see how that goes.
I mean, they do fluctuate a lot, the Comet Galaxy thing, but that actually has the 6-digit free counter, so you can usually keep it tuned in to where you need it to pretty easily.
It does. I actually haven't run it that much. I actually got this off of Larry 2 years ago, as I was going to throw it in a dump truck, but I wasn't in that dump truck that much, and I didn't want to leave it in there to have some other fucking goofball screw it up.
Where the fuck's Larry been?
Fucking Larry!
I haven't heard him in a while.
Yeah, he passed away.
Did he really? No shit. I did not know that.
Yeah, he, last 4th of July. Yeah, it was a quick one there. Well, I won't get into it on here, but maybe later.
Oh, that sucks. I never met the guy, but he seemed like a good egg on the radio. That's too bad. I liked when he'd pop in every once in a while.
Another perfect double.
Damn it.
Well, I don't know who got out, but I was just going to say that sucks about Larry. I never met him, but he seemed like a good egg whenever he hopped on the radio, so that's too bad.
Yeah, no, he was decent. He's one reason why I got into this shit back when he was going through a divorce. He lived with, my mom is their brother and sister there, and that's why I got into the radio. And this was a long time ago. I mean, I'm mid-40s now, so back in my teens, or even before that, 10 years old, he was in there, and he had quite the setup.
Somebody out in the distance with a little Roger beep. Who's that? Can someone step in? I can't make out who that is.
Yeah, if he gets on it a little bit more, I got a good signal on him, but not good audio.
I heard something 03. Oh, I just keyed up with you out there, but I heard something 03. Oh, you're from Brunswick. I got you tuned in. You're definitely high on frequency. Who is that again? You Brunswick, you say 555? I don't know if you were the person that was just talking, but you got a little squeal in there with you.
That's Triple Cross in Brunswick. We met him at the meetup. I think he's got a magma out on his toolbox in the basement.
Oh, I don't know. Who the hell's that? 476 State of Maine. You know who it is.
476 Maine? Go ahead.
Oh, come on.
Who you got there? You got Mud Runner over here in Brunswick. I can hear you now. I kind of got you cranked in.
Oh, the one and only 476 State of Maine.
476 State of Maine. What town are you in?
What's your 2476? Oh, I'm over here in Pownell. Everybody knows where I'm at.
Pownell.
Good evening, Dad.
Oh, 10-4, first one to give it away.
I give it away. I'm a slut.
Oh, you give it all up, wouldn't you?
That's right.
it away. He gives it away all the time. You give it all away, wouldn't you, Swipe? Yeah.
I can get in now, but I think I'm going to go back the other way because I'd rather listen to the other people.
You had to change your receive for Taz, or were you doing it for the guy in Brunswick?
I don't know, but whatever that was, I gone back, but everybody else is sounding like crap.
I think what's happening, hold on, let me make sure I got it. I think I know what's going on here. All right. I think Mudrunner, because he's in Brunswick, is hearing Triple Cross really good. Triple Cross is on a mag mount in his house, and I think and Triple Cross is high on frequency, so Mudrunner tried to dial in Triple Cross, which screwed them all up. So, Mudrunner, if you're listening, tune into my signal, because I'm on frequency. You're probably the only one that's hearing Triple Cross, so that's why you got all screwed up. So hopefully I've given you, I've vamped enough here. You know, I did a little Zataran's tap shoe dance here, and you've dialed back onto the channel.
You got it, Radio Man. You are 100% correct.
Sorry about that. I just jumped in here. I don't worry. Great problems. I just, hey, Mudrunner, yeah, you're on frequency.
All right, thanks. Yeah, no, I was trying to go after that other guy, and there was a couple doubles in there, and then I got a hold of you. I was like, well, Jesus Christ.
No, you guys are all fine. I was just trying to clear the confusion. I think that's what was causing the confusion, is that Mudrunner tried to dial in Triple Cross, and I think Mudrunner, you're probably hearing even though he's off frequency, you're probably at least getting some signal on him compared to the rest of us.
Yeah, he had quite the signal there. Bob actually pulled him out, but yeah, you're 100% correct there, Radio Man. I appreciate it.
Triple Cross is hammering over here. He's just off. He's high about, .4 high, like 400 hertz. Yes, what are you running over there right now, Triple Cross? 2517. So your back clarifier, the coarse one, your back one, if you can turn that to the left a little bit. Now, you're probably going to barely be out of the D10, but turn it to the left a little bit, just out of that D10. Then you're going to have to use your coarse, the fine one, the front one. Sorry, I might have just fucked that up. But that back course, turn that counterclockwise a little bit, and then you're going to have to use that front one, that fine one, to tune in your receive. But you're definitely high by 400 hertz. All right, it almost sounded like you were close. It took me a second to get back on. Try it again.
You gotta give you like a 10 or 12, 15 count to do that.
You might have went a little too far, Triple Cross. Try it again. No, you're back up to where you were. I don't know if you can hear me, because I know you're fucking around with shit that's going to mess it up, but take that back course one and go back to the left. I actually think when you went counterclockwise, I think you were on.
I go a little bit more counterclockwise, a little bit more.
Okay, how about that? Does it go?
It sounds pretty close to me. I'll let the other few people that can hear you. Now, I don't know if you can hear me and understand me. If you need to move that fine one, that should only work for your receive if it hasn't been modified. So use that fine one to clarify your receive in. But you sounded pretty close on channel. I'll let somebody else, talk and see if they hear you better.
That sounded good over here in Brunswick.
Yeah, we got you there, Triple Cross. You copy, Radio Man? Yeah, you're pretty close. I don't think you're going to get it dead nuts on, but at least now you're in the ballpark. I think last I looked, I had you at 8951, but you'd have to talk a little bit more. It's kind of hard to try to, like, you'll start talking and I try to dial you in, and by the time I get close, you're already unkeyed. But you're definitely in the ballpark now.
Good. I guess the good thing is the indicators are both right at 12 o'clock, so that's pretty straight on, I suppose.
Yeah, he could go a whisker more.
How's that? Is that any better? 1, 2, 3.
That's all right. Give her a good conversation. What'd you do? What'd you eat for dinner? What'd you have for breakfast? How was lunch? What'd you do for work? Come on. I think what we're looking for is you to key up for a little bit there, and yeah, just run it a little bit more. Say a few more words. You get some more input.
Yeah, you know, I need to put up a better antenna. I've got one with no cons. I think I'm going to throw it for the time being until I go.
Yeah, but now do.
Working on the system dialed in.
I think you're pretty close to frequency there, but you're, I don't know, it's loud, overmodulated. I don't know if there's a mic gain you can turn down or something, clear it up.
Yeah, it's a power mic. I just turned it down a little bit. Hopefully that makes it a little better.
It definitely cleaned it up over here.
Bob, Radio Man, anybody else? Come on.
Yeah, cleaned it up over here. It sounds a lot better.
Yeah, I concur. I think he's about as close as he's gonna get without a frequency counter. He's pretty damn close. I was listening to him there, and backing down the mic gain definitely helped. And I think I heard 7 in there. Did we hear 7?
Well, good evening. I guess I missed a check-in there, but we'll wave it anyway.
No problem. Good evening, 7. We're just doing a little tune in Tokyo.
Hey, Tempo, you guys sounded good over here tonight, no doubt. We're just waving and checking in there, no doubt. Been on the phone there with my daughter there.
And there's no such thing as missing it. As long as somebody's on, you're always in.
Where is that 7? We're over here at Chelsea. Go ahead. Did you say Chelsea? Yeah, 10-4 at Chelsea. 10-4. You got Mudrone over here in Brunswick. Sound good.
Yeah, have a good night, Floyd.
Yeah, definitely want to wave and get checked in. No doubt about that.
Yeah, we appreciate it, 7. We appreciate you coming back from your phone call there.
It's all Screwdriver's fault. Blame him.
Yeah, I get blamed for a lot. It's okay. I'll take it.
Well, you did tell me the first radio that I got back on the radio on, so it kind of is your fault.
You're not wrong, but it's such an addiction, isn't it? You were on for like 2 weeks, and then you went and bought every piece of equipment in your grab.
Why, you know how that goes.
I hear you, man. This is a crazy, addictive hobby for sure.
All I'm going to say is seatbelts suck. And with that, I'm going to get back on the side and listen.
Oh, no, now you did it.
Chelsea, that's not bad. Just under Augusta. Yeah, 10-4 in Augusta. You're doing a hell of a job, Ira. Yeah. No, from Brunswick to there, that's pretty good. You give me about 5 SUs, swinging about 6 over here. Sounding good. Yeah, same here. Out there in the distance.
We hear you, Pipeline. How you doing, Pipeline?
Well, yes it is. I'll 10-5 if you can't get, but I think Radio Man might be get you direct. Go ahead and give it a shot.
Yeah, we copy you direct, Pipeline. Good evening. Good to hear from you.
Here in Brunswick, they have Pipeline, and I'm in a hole. Yeah, it's Brunswick over here. Mud Runner over here in Brunswick. I got your Pipeline. Come on. Mud Runner in Brunswick Pipeline. Oh, Brunswick. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, does everybody know? Sorry about that, but yeah, I do hear you. On and back off.
7.
Hey, go ahead.
I was waiting for you to elaborate on why you don't like C-pills.
Oh, okay, Floyd. I'll let the guys know to listen for you.
It's you that I'm telling that I had to. The fucking things burn up.
It's not about the pills.
Right? MOSFETs are, no, I'm telling you, MOSFETs are it.
That's weird. Didn't your buddy was praising MOSFETs until he blew up his 703 and said they're pieces of shit?
Well, he didn't have a pattern enough. You gotta pat him. As you run in big radio, so you gotta pat it so you only seeing like, 3 digits instead of 4, you know.
You don't need to run a high-powered radio into an amp. You just gotta run any radio, you know? I don't know. I've never had an issue with my regular 2879. I still love them, and I know there's been a lot of hate locally about them and people bad-mouthing them, but you know what? I don't know. It's hard to disagree with proven technology that's been around for 40 years.
Yeah, but you can't run a big radio through the friggin' C-pills. You gotta go with MOSFETs, and I mean, that's what I've learned.
Did you hear that, Swipe? You can't run a big radio through that.
Yeah, that doesn't even make... I don't even understand that. Something ain't right there.
Well, you can't go wild, next thing you know.
Next thing you know, you've been keying 500 watts and stringing 3,000 for the last 5 years. It's kind of weird.
Exactly. Yeah, it drives the piss out of mine. Matter of fact, that's what you had me scratching my head on, because C-pills take more drive. You have to drive them harder than the regular 2879s. The C-pills take more drive or more voltage, one of the two.
Yes, you're right on the voltage, and it's not MOSFET. You're correct.
I have no problem with MOSFET. I do like MOSFET amps. I've had many of them, and so I'm not dogging those. I'm not dogging any amps, actually. I love them all. Little pills, big pills, C pills, regulars. I like them all.
Boobs.
I haven't found a pair of boobies yet that I'm not gonna like.
Yeah, I heard them just like that, actually.
Let's hear it for tubes. How about it for tubes?
I don't have any experience with tubes, but I'm not opposed to them.
I'm just one of those guys, whatever amp I'm running's the best amp. I'm not too picky.
Well, sorry you had a bad experience there, Seven.
Oh, hey, live and learn, correct? I mean, that's the way it is.
Don't get me wrong, that burnt up my share of amps.
No, you can't never... so much out of a seatbelt. I know, I understand that.
Well, it depends.
Well, I mean, it's not out of a C-pill is the problem. It's what size amp were you running?
16.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, fuck, I know a lot of T-pill amps that are going to take a lot more than a 200-watt radio.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, mine, I saw mine get tested, bench tested, with a Texas Star 500.
Yeah, it just all depends on how big it is and, you know, builder and whatnot.
How big is yours?
It depends. Am I telling my wife or am I telling you?
How much did you pay for it?
Oh, fuck, I've had the same amplifier for years, so I don't know.
How much did you tell your wife you paid for it?
And them fucking A-pills burn up.
You definitely got to watch how much you're getting out of any amp. Doesn't matter. You got to watch how much you're getting out of anything and keep an eye on a meter. Drive is your number one worst enemy. SWR isn't. I know people complain about SWR. I've been running a 2-match for fucking years, and it's all about watching how much output you have. I don't even care about the drive. It's all about what I'm getting for output out of it. You keep it within spec, it'll run a long time.
Yeah, that and the modulation. Exactly. Is that the same amp that you, I brought that amp over for you to check out and you drove that amp with it?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I drove an 8-pill into my 16-pill one time, and she's still going.
It was full board. You're like, holy smokes, would you look at that?
I was like that video with that guy. I'm like, would you look at that?
He even smacked his knee, for crying out loud. Well, I got 2 for sale right now, no doubt about it. A little C80 freaking cow belt and an 8-belt. I gotta get rebuilt, but yep, absolutely them for sale.
Oh man, you got 2 for sale that are blown up. Might have to do some talking.
Fuck, I drove my 4-pill into my 2-pill. That was work. That was awesome.
That 2-pill must have been like you grabbed it by the nuts and twisted.
It's about 1,600, but yeah, I'm guessing if you want to drive a 20-watt radio into it, it'd be okay. But anything over that, you know, I mean, I don't know. You probably know more than I do, but I know what I got now is working for me, and I'm done with the C-pills.
That's just it. Find what works for you and run it. I don't know what you're running right now, but it sounds great, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I took 2 states.
Hey, Attitude 411, I would be glad to have you. We meet every Thursday, and locally, I don't know about York County, so if they're trying to get something going, I haven't heard much out of them. But, we're on channel 12. If the skip's bad, we go down to 26.815. There's channel 28. There's quite a few people in the Cumberland County area on the radio, in Androscoggin County there, Attitude. So plenty of opportunities to talk as long as you got a decent radio can get out.
With it, no doubt, that's absolutely brand new.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. She's all done up and running, that's for sure. What's going on, Mr. Pipeline? Good evening, sir. Yeah, we didn't really have a topic discussion yet, one, but we all like talking about what we want to do for upgrades or what we've blown up over the years, and shit happens for sure. Yeah, no, don't believe any meter. That really don't matter. It's all going to be the same. But yeah, no, those 503s are great amps. They work well, and usually when I blow something up, it's usually operator error. When I do something, it's oh shit, I had something turned up a little too high, or I pushed this a little too hard. It definitely happens. But yeah, those 503s and 703s. I mean, I dog on the 703s and the 503s. I mean, they're not powerhouses, but they work well. My 703 that's in my car works really well. But I can tell you right now, my KLV, my KLV 500 does more power than my 703. You are not going to notice any difference. You will see zero difference between swinging 250 watts and 400 watts. It's not going to be noticeable to anything besides watching your meter. If you're a meter chaser, then it's great. But what you're going to give me and how I'm going to hear you will make a zero difference with those 2 wattages. Yep, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll tell you what makes you a good amp. Well, I mean, that thing sounds really good. I don't know how they're set up inside, but I'm pretty sure they still sell them. RM Italy makes a 7505. Now, it's a 4-transistor amp with like 1446s in it, but it is specifically designed for a sideband. It even has a switch for regular sideband and ESSB on it. It's got all kinds of filtering inside. I'm not going to say that's as much of a powerhouse, but it'll do every bit of what you get out now. AM, they're okay. They're nothing to really, brag about, but really clean amp, as far as they're built for a sideband. They work really well.
Hey, Screwdriver, I've seen my PEP drop to from 1600 down to about 600 or 700, and I've seen the RMS go from 150 up to about almost 450. So, yeah.
On what?
PM that I'm running now compared to the pre-and-A pill.
Yeah. I mean, you're running 2 different amps. I mean, I don't see any difference. Well, I don't know. I've never really paid attention to your signal over here, especially on sideband, because it's just whatever. I just haven't paid attention. But yeah, I mean, it sounds great. Like I said, I personally, I don't look at a meter. I don't care. Like, I don't push any of my amps hard enough. If my amp is going to swing, 1,000 watts or 500 watts, that's what it's going to swing. I'm not going to drive it to get 600 watts out, because then I'm going to blow it up. I try to run my stuff at like half mass.
Now I'm saying this amp that I got now versus the other amp that I had before showing 1600 PEP. This one's showing about 700. The other amp I had before, the RMS, is showing about 150. This one's showing almost 450, 473. And I'm giving everybody the same signal, and it's definitely running cool.
Yeah, I mean, and on a lot of that, there's all kinds of reasons why that could be. I mean, as far as what type of transistors you're running, how it's set up, how it loads your radio down. Are you using a different radio or use the same radio antenna? Like that all plays, I shouldn't say tricks, but it all plays tricks on your meter. So, I can change it to a different radio, and I see huge number swings in here. Running my same amp, going from like this ICOM to my striker, I see night and day differences on the meter. I just know what each one usually does and what's normal for it, but it definitely changes.
I feel like a mud dog now, but that's okay.
I mean, I don't look at peak numbers for anything, so I am not a peak kind of person. It's always RMS. Yeah. You said you were running one of Paranoid's boxes?
Yeah, 2-stage, yeah.
2-stage. So, are you running one of the LD Moss ones?
Not sure. It's like 3,000 watt capability.
Oh, yeah. I'm just curious. But yeah, I mean, like I said, they're all different. They're all different, obviously, depending on how they're built, what they're put together with. But yeah, I mean, and like I said, once you hit a couple hundred watts, you need to increase your power 4 times to make any difference on a meter. So if you're already doing 250 watts, if you don't upgrade to 1,000 watts, I'm not going to see a difference. And you going from 250 watts to 1,000 increases you 1 S unit. You'll go from giving me a 5 to a 6. That is exactly what you're going to gain if you go from 250 watts to 500 watts. You're going to go from a 5 to a 6.
Yeah, in perfect conditions. Absolutely right. That's kind of...
So to go from 250 watts to 400 watts or whatever, I do, it's not noticeable. I don't always get go up 4 times because I think there's a half of an S unit. There's still something to be seen. So to me, I got to double my power. But if I'm not doubling my power, it is just not worth me doing. So if I'm not going from a 2-pill to a 4-pill or a 4-pill to an 8-pill or an 8-pill to a 16, I'm not going to upgrade from a 4-pill to a 6-pill. There's 0 point. I'm not going to gain anything that's going to be noticeable. Like I said, I look at it, I got to double every time.
No, I got the amp that I love now, and 4-element Joe's going up this summer. I don't care. It's going to be a cross. It's going to be 72 feet in the air, and oh yeah, I'm going to absolutely have some piece of pie.
The new Tower of Power. I like it.
And like you say, so what if they're overrated? I don't care about that. All I want is that rejection and the capability of pointing who you're talking to.
I mean, if you want to be devastating to one area, one person or whatever, if you're shooting skip, I mean, there is nothing that's going to beat a beam. It's absolutely nothing, So they're definitely, they have their advantages and they're fun.
Yeah, I got the hillbilly here, and that fucking thing is unbelievable. Doesn't really happen for local so much, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not directional. If you had a cross or something, I've had a Moonraker 4, a 3-element, PDL2, you know what I'm saying? There's a piece of pie right there where you can eliminate some of your other side-by-side and actually talk to the person you're talking to, absolutely.
Yeah.
Going up this summer, I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, get that beam up there. Yeah.
Occasionally, like me and Radio.
What the hell?
And obviously he's running huge power and everything, so he hammers me over here. I mean, he's putting this thing past the 60, beating the needle off the side. But every once in a while, and I don't use a beam ever, every once in a while I would for skip. I haven't fucking used the beam in fucking probably a year. But he'll be using his beam or I'll be using my beam, and just when I'm pointing towards skip, there's this little heel, it knocks him way down. Like, he'll be giving me a 7. He'll go from a 65 or 70 dB to a 7, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And yeah, I mean, so if you really want to get rid of somebody, get some rejection going, they do what they need to do.
Yeah, and I guess you can't beat a wide board or something like that. But then again, we get some fucking ice in here and some friggin' wind. There that fucking thing goes. Now you got to maintenance it. That's why I'm going with the joke gun. Just, yep, so it ain't quite as good, but at least it's going to be tough.
Yeah, the corner rejection on this quad is insane. When I, back, you can put someone to the back of you, put someone in the corner, it's like, bye-bye.
That's actually how I align my beams. I don't even do it by where it's looking because they're not always electrically like where they are physically. I give the two back corners and I mark down where I'm at, and then I put it right in the middle of that, and I say, okay, that's the back side. I know exactly where that is pointed. And then I go and I calibrate and move my rotor to match it. Like, I'll start off obviously with a compass or something, but I'll tell you, doing it electronically or electrically, I guess. Yeah, I've had so much more. With a smaller beam, it's not as big of a deal, but fuck, when I had my stretched 8 up, that thing was so directional, 2 degrees made a difference.
Yeah, I know, Tao, radio man there can go from, like, can't even barely hear him to, like, 70 dBs up this way, so, I mean, exactly, and yourself, too.
I was actually talking to, well, I'll make sure I'm not doubling somebody. All right. I was talking to Tony the other day at Joe Gun, and usually when he's in the skip, he cranks out here, and I could barely hear him. I was like, what the hell? And then I realized, I go, oh, he's talking to somebody in Washington State. But I could still hear him, but he was like piss weak. So he got done. I called him. All of a sudden, he's blowing me out of the chair, like 40 over. And he says, oh, yeah, he's running that stretch, or I think he calls it a Super 8. And he goes, honestly, it's too pinpoint. He goes, it's almost too, it works, but it's almost too pinpoint when you're, I said, yeah, I could tell you were talking to that guy in Washington State, and you went from like a 3, and then you pointed it at me to 40 over.
Jack comes in there quite a bit on 9-0 there. He'll ask for radio man. He'll go, no, he ain't been in there tonight. He's probably up on 93, but he's been getting in there lately. He friggin' wave it to us, looking for you.
Oh, I've been looking for him too. I mean, I have his phone number, but all right, I'll have to remember. I'll have to try to. I haven't talked to him in a couple weeks.
Real good up here, no doubt about that. But yeah, he's been asking for you, no doubt, down there on 9-0.
Okay, yeah, usually you can catch them somewhere between like 9.05 and 9.35. I usually find them. Yeah, he's running a homemade 4-element quad, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure that's what he's running, unless he's changed it. But yeah. Never met the guy, but talked to him quite a bit on the radio.
Pretty damn smart about what's going on, no doubt about that. And we had a check-in there. I'm going to step on the side here and listen.
Yes, apologies, and I did get you, Ginger Swipe. I marked you down. Thank you for stopping by this evening.
Taking over, Swipe is Mike. We like it.
She says, yeah, give me that mic.
Yeah, I know, like, I don't downplay beams, but I'm not a huge beam fan. Obviously, anybody who listens to me rant rave about my little pet peeves, so I'm not a big beam fan. Because to me, for the type of talking I do, they have more disadvantages than advantages. But, I've run many, and I still have up. Well, I got up 3 right now, so whatever. But like I said, when I had up that big one, it was great. I mean, it fucking hammered. But 2 degrees, it was unbelievable. I was on the outskirts of Auburn, and the distance, like going from Swiper to just right across the river, like 2 miles away, it would be a difference of me giving them 40 to 9 dB.
And that's 4 element or 5?
Oh, that was a stretched 8. Had a 50-foot long boom.
Jesus.
Yeah, a 4 element to me is your best beam. Don't get me wrong, a 5, you still has a lot of gain left to be had. So a 5 is a really good bang for the buck, but it starts getting narrow. A 4 element, like the beam width off the front is pretty wide. Like you can rotate it 20 degrees and you're not going to see a huge difference. So, I really like a 4. A 4 I think is a really usable beam. Once you get above that, it's just, they're usable, but they're not as usable for like everyday talking, at least not in my book.
Yeah, I had a Murica 4, the rejection kit, when I was looking at Mohammed there running the bomb at 1,000, and I'll tell you what, that thing was awesome until the ice storm hit, and I see it crash down. It sucked, but yeah.
Murica 4 that I got up over here is, hasn't been up since 1977, but it was first originally put together in 1977 and up for many years. And, I've had it down and stored away for quite some time and then back up. And, but it's been taken apart and put together a lot over the years.
You get it back in the air.
Oh, I got it up right now. I could switch to it. But I'm telling you right now, I'd rather run my Omni. I switch to that thing, I'm not going to hear you. Or I'm going to turn towards you, and then I'm not going to hear Fix-It. And Fix-It's going to be stepping on me to everybody. And, I don't know. I'm just a big fan of my Omni. I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I love seeing upgrades, and I love seeing people go bigger. I'm just personally a big fan of my Omni. I mean, we all know me. I personally hate Echo, too. So what the fuck do I know?
Yeah, I got a Colossal now, and that thing's right next door to the friggin' Mako. No doubt about that.
Oh, who was that? Was that Mr. B out there? Oh, I heard a radio check way out there. Oh crap! Let me get a little closer. I thought you almost said double J. South China, maybe? Let me I really got to listen to my speaker this time. I was kicking back and not paying attention to enough.
I think you said PK in South China.
Okay, TK and South China. So I did hear South China right. Okay.
TK South China.
Oh, yeah, we heard you in there. You got stepped on a little bit that time, but we heard you from South China. You're right at my static level or a little bit above, but it's definitely working, man. Yeah. This is when I want to try to do something that's kind of odd. I got to buy me one of those, like, phase fucking shifters or static eliminators or whatever. I want to try putting one of those in between my preamp and the radio to see if I can't take out some of the static that comes in before my preamp or after it, however you want to look at it. I don't know, I just want to do something weird. I still can't get the static out of my beam. I don't know what the hell comes in on top of that, but it's still not amazing.
No, I will say though, I like this monster. It likes sideband. It likes runs about 90 degrees. Pretty much if you're on it all the time. The bands are great.
Hell yeah. I'm a big fan of anything that puts out power. You know, tubes, MOSFET, LD MOS, or it doesn't matter. If it makes me get out a little bit better, I'm all about it.
Antenna is definitely the way to go, though. If you want to upgrade, just upgrade your antenna. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you know, I mean, with antenna, the bigger the better. I mean, there is a diminishing return at some point, but, you know.
I just don't understand. I really don't understand how they're getting the multiplication off the shorter beam, like on a Joker, versus a Mako or something. And they're saying they're making up with the girth of the antenna and the gambit. New technology, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I won't get into this argument. I know we argued about this one time before, but because it's not. You know, at the end of the day, it is 100% not. It doesn't have more gain. It doesn't have more multiplication. It is just, you know, Tony putting his numbers on it. Actually, not him. It was the same numbers that were on it well before he bought the company. But they're just, those numbers are made up. They don't mean a damn thing.
I'll tell you something else. You could tell me this 10 years ago, because I want to talk about D104 that's cranked up halfway. I'm working off an EQ now, and the mic gain's on 0 using a stock mic, you know what I'm saying? I've learned a little bit over 35 years, but yeah.
I still love my D104s, but yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan, and not everybody runs the radio this way, but I'm a big fan of keeping your radio wide open and having your mic gain fairly open. I have my reasons. I can tell you electrically and why for a radio it makes more sense, but there are people that do it the other way, and they're happy with that too. But yeah, an EQ is, you know, an EQ, or you don't really need EQ, but you know, an inexpensive podcast mic. I'll tell you, I love this thing I'm on right now. You know, I'm kicked back with my feet up. I don't have to hold the D104 in my hand because I'm a big, I'm a close talker. And I'm literally, you know, my nose hits this mic all the time because I'm within 2 inches or less.
Well, most people that run a D104, they key up. You could hear the TV, the kids, and everything in the background. And, you know, it doesn't sound like you're talking off a D104 at all. I mean, it's clean. It sounds like you're bugging AM radio.
Yeah, and that's because people crank them up. And then they'll crank them up, they turn their mic gain back. It's like, well, the mic is still picking up all the background, and your radio is backing it down, so now all your background sounds just as loud as you do. So you're better off keeping the mic turned way down so it doesn't pick up any background, and let the radio get full swing and take full advantage of the op amps that are inside the radio. But, you know, some people, that they do it the other way, and I don't have a good reason why. But I'm also the type of person, I'm never going to use a D104 at arm's length. It's going to sit right on my belly, and I'm going to be talking into it less than 2 inches away.
Yeah, I use a handheld stock mic, like I said, and it lets you know, because there's a little blue light there that barely, it doesn't even blink now. You know, I got the mic gain on 0. Oh, 35 years took me to learn that, but yeah.
Yep, sounds great.
And no, the EQ's not cheap. That's fucking $185, you know what I'm saying? I talk off I got a good mic coming. It's in mail, no doubt about it. It's, it's something. This is just a hand mic, but I got a boom coming and a nice friggin' high mic coming, and oh yeah. Upgrading all the time, you know.
See, my boom mic cost me, I don't know, $20. with the boom and the mic and all the cable, and plugged into my computer. I use a free EQ program on the computer. It actually came with a little soundboard, and sounds just fine. You know, it's a very inexpensive setup. You know, I've got with cables and everything, because I needed a couple of cables. I probably got about $50 in my whole mic setup that I run right now. I probably got about $50 into it.
Yeah, it's $285 for the mic that I'm getting, and the boom's about 60, and then the trigger switch is another, well, $60. But hey, pay for what you get. You know what I'm saying? Can't take it with you.
That you can't. Getting buried with it doesn't do you any good, that's for sure.
That kind of looks like an Elvis Presley mic. It's got LED lights. Oh, you know. Hey, you can't take it with you. Well, that and I'm retired now, so, you know, nothing better to do.
Well, that's just it. You know, you get to a certain point in life, and like I know I'm definitely looking at that for the future, and hopefully, I don't know, within 10 more years being retired, and you know, I'm like, what am I gonna have for a hobby to do? What can I physically do? I mean, I'm fucking getting old and fat. Since my medical issues, it's, you know, I'm not out there playing softball. I'm not out there, you know, mountain biking and climbing fucking trees. So I'm trying to prepare myself to know I'm going to have some seat time in another 10 years.
I just have my knee replaced. I'll be climbing trees again, and I'm gonna guess in a couple months.
10-4. I mean, I'm sure I'll still find some little stuff, but it ain't gonna be, yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I double with you. I just, what I think is you ought to get a couple passengers on that bike you got 20 feet in the air.
Oh, now we're talking. I like it.
Something, you know, that you can recognize at night, like with, you know, lights and all.
Hell yeah.
Somebody way out there.
Oh, bother. So was it that difficult, Fix It, to plug it in and turn it on and just hit the button that says sideband?
Finding that button was secure, and sitting here dialing the VFO a long, long time to get here.
Oh, you're going to have a button on there that says, like, TS or something like that. That'll make it go fast and slow. If you have it on AM, it'll go faster than sideband anyway. So if you already had it on sideband, you could be spinning that knob for a long time.
I just got to figure out how to set the power and the modulation on this band. Now it's like 2 swinging 5. Wow.
On 2, because there is no dead key, so you might be swinging, what, you're swinging 5 watts? Well, that's great. You can run it behind your amp. me a good signal. I would think you're doing more than 5 watts, but I don't know.
I never even bothered to check that, but wow, they're taking it. I don't know, that little power supply is loving it.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not that big and scary, is it? It ain't that bad.
To figure out where to find that on the menu.
Oh, I keyed up with yours. I was just saying, it ain't that big and scary, is it? It wasn't that bad. Terrible, huh?
Terrible.
Yeah, I just sent that to you there, screwdriver.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look.
Only difference is it's blue, but it's night and day. It's a Heil mic, no doubt about it. Good Heil sound.
Nice. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Heil makes a great mic, you know. I mean, I don't necessarily, personally, I'm like, I would never spend the money on one. I think it's a lot of money for something that's not needed, but they make a great mic. I mean, there's no denying that.
Yeah, I feel like you're almost in a studio. Yeah, one day I'll have a Yeezu.
Oh, you only one of them either. I'll tell you, I am really happy with how my even my striker does on sideband. Like, I don't have any. The only issue I have with my striker, this is the only thing, especially when running it as a bass, is just the bar graph on it. I really like, I really like obviously having an analog meter. It's the only reason I'm running this thing tonight.
Hey, do you ever get them tube radios that I just swapped into there going?
Yeah, I've used them many times. They work, I don't know if I'd say they work great, but they work.
I'm pulling that up here, no doubt about that. Yeah, they just need constant maintenance more than what I wanted to give them, and I just absolutely rather have somebody have them that wanted to use them.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I fire them up every once in a while on like a Monday night on an old radio night or something. Yeah, they work well. I mean, they work good enough. I would say well. The Browning actually works fairly well. Just there's like holes in the front of it from the rust. I mean, it looks rough, but it works just like it should, right from the factory.
It's awesome, no doubt about that. Yeah, I know, they're tubes, and you gotta do maintenance to them, man. I know more than what I wanted to do. About that, oh, I'm happy to hear that.
Oh, I got old Cobras and Galaxies that need maintenance on them. So, you know, it happens to everything if it gets old. I need maintenance on myself. I get it. I'm not a spring chicken anymore either.
Me and my wife got a maintenance agreement.
You got a maintenance agreement? Nice.
Good evening, Mr. Fix-It, and we hear you out there.
Good evening, good evening. It's good to know that this thing does work. I was expecting to key up on something, everybody telling me it sounds like crap and everything like that, but I guess I got lucky.
Sounded good over here.
Roger, thank you very much.
Yeah, I noticed that you got it one quitter tonight to fix it. Did you change your radios or something?
Yeah, I'm testing out the old Yahoo.
Oh, you went to hell. Sounds great.
Yeah, and everybody out there's been sounding pretty good too, all the ones that I can hear.
Roger, I can sound.
Yeah, my wife is sitting over in a chair. She says, on that radio, it doesn't sound like they're all on sideband. It sounds like everybody's on AM.
I will say, like, when you're running there, like this radio here that I got there, it cleans up everyone really well. So on the audio there, they're on time. People do sound like they're on AM.
What happened, Screwdriver?
What happened to what? What?
Okay, they sounded as good as sideband.
Oh, yeah. They sound as good as I did. Yeah, I'm hit or miss. I'm not a huge sideband fan. I mean, I will play on it like once a week, but I don't enjoy listening to it most of the time. I want to hear a nice, pleasant AM station, FM station, something like that.
Yeah, but there's only 40 AM channels. There's 80 sideband channels.
You do realize they're all on the same exact channel, right?
Well, kind of, yeah, sort of.
No, kind of, sort of. It's all on the same channel. It's all on the same frequency. You can still hear it no matter what you're listening to.
Wow, this power supply ain't even getting warm.
it's not sucking up a lot of electricity. You got to run that thing way more than batteries. You're sounding way better tonight than always.
Well, it needs another microphone because I'm doing hard press to get 80% modulation.
How you measuring modulation on it?
With my triple meters.
Yeah, modulation meter on sideband really does not compute. It's really nothing accurate and reliable of that. I mean, it's barely reliable on AM.
Well, this has got one on the radio too, and I can see it's not much going in either.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You could be louder. I'm not going to lie. It could be turned up, so I'm not going to say it's screaming. But you sound dead on channel. You sound nice, clean, clear. Yeah, like I said, it could be louder, but it's definitely nothing that, you know, anybody's ever going to say anything about.
Well, if it had the Delta on it, I'd probably play with it more.
I don't know, sounds pretty good over here.
There you go.
Matter of fact, everybody sounds pretty clean tonight, no doubt about that.
Oh, well, that's Screwdriver's fault. He won't settle for nothing less than that.
It's always screwdrivers, yes, absolutely.
That's right. If it doesn't sound like you're on FM, you're not doing it right.
Wow.
I just like to see people do the best that they can with what they got, you know? I mean, I know we can't all go out and spend a ton of money on these brand new radios and stuff, but, you know, you can, with a little bit of tweaking, you can make the, you know, the oldest, biggest pieces of crap still sound reasonable.
And more.
And 4. 10-4.
You better believe it, bud. Holy crap, Pipeline. I thought of you the other day. Fucking price of gold is crazy. That is insane. Hell yeah, start going to town. Hell yeah, start going to town. Stop panning away, right?
I got a brand new metal detector I gotta try out sometime. Probably China. Well, I think mine's too sensitive. I turned it on and took it for a little walk out around the wife's flower garden out on the side of the house, and that thing went off every 5 inches. Got that far yet. I'm still learning. That's why I said I need a place to go practice. Ten-4. Yeah, no, I took that over the lawn. The wife was standing right there. I said, well, I'll go get a shovel. She says, leave the freaking lawn alone. Yeah, this one's got its own little wand for spot finding stuff. Ten-4. I've been eyeballing a smelter, too. A smelter, you know the thing you use to melt down the metal?
Really? There's real gold in that? I did not know that. I was just saying I did not know there was real gold in that. I didn't know when you broke it down you actually got anything usable out of it. That's interesting. And four.
Hey guys, I'm getting pretty tired here, so I'm gonna shut it down and call it a night.
What? Say it ain't so.
Yeah, I'll have to upload the roll call list tomorrow. I'm falling asleep here. Nothing personal, just tired. But I'll be around this weekend, so maybe we'll catch some of you guys on the radio this weekend.
I think it's supposed to be another kind of rainy, crappy weekend, so probably.
Copy that on the rainy, crappy weekend. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a night. Radio Man out.